13.5 Probability Models. Two-way frequency table displays the frequency of data in two different categories. The table below shows the data about student involvement in extracurricular activities at a local high school. What is the probability that a randomly chosen student is a female who is not involved in extracurricular activities? So the key words here are female and not involved in extracurricular activities. So we're going to focus in on the female category and the not involved in extracurricular activities. So to find our probability for this, we're going to have females not involved over total students. So right now we're looking at 120 over 516. But we have to reduce this. And so the easiest way to reduce this number is just to go ahead and get your decimal form. And in this case, your decimal becomes 0.233, or right around 23.3%. Next example. The two-way frequency table below shows the number of male and female students by grade level on the prom committee. What is the probability that a member of the prom committee is a male who is a junior? So our keys here are male and junior. So we're going to focus in on the junior category as well as the male category. So junior males, we have 3, and then total students on prom committee would be 12. So our probability in this case is going to be equal to junior males over total. So that means we're going to take 3 over 12, which we know to reduce down to 1/4. The next problem states, what is the probability that a randomly chosen person from the survey is a right-handed male? So our key words in this case are going to be right-handed and male. So we look at the right-handed males and we find that we have 22 total right-handed males. And then the total number of participants in the survey was 50. So our probability that we're getting a right-handed male is equal to the number of right-handed males over total participants. So we have 22 over 50. Well, this will reduce down to 11/25. So the probability of a right-handed male in this survey is 11/25. Conditional probability. The probability that an event will occur given that another event has already occurred. You can write conditional probability of event B given that event A has already occurred as P parenthesis B vertical slash A parentheses. Read that the probability of event B given A has already occurred. We're going to be using this in the next couple of slides, so make note of it. The B event, it will generally be listed in your problems first, followed by the A event, meaning that they're giving you the event that they want to occur, and then they're saying this event has already occurred. So the example states, the table below illustrates whether individuals were for, against, or had no opinion about a bill that would increase the minimum wage. What is the probability that a randomly selected person is over 60 years old, given that the person had no opinion of the state bill? So in this case, we are looking for the probability of B given that A has already taken place, where B in this case is the probability that they're 60 years old, and A being they had no opinion. So to find our probability, we're looking for the probability that they are over 60 and had no opinion. So to do this, we're going to take the number of people over 60 with no opinion divided by the number of no opinion people in total. So the number of people over 60 with no opinion were 40, and the number of people with no opinion in total was 100. So we've got 40 over 100, or in this case, we could go ahead and say 0.4, or right around 40%. Second example, what is the probability that a randomly selected person is 35 to 40 years old, given that the person is in favor of the minimum wage? So in this case, our key ideas here are in favor of the minimum wage and 30 to 45 years of age. Well, the 30 to 45 years of age is the B. The in favor of minimum wage is the A. So once again, if we're looking for the probability of B given A, we're looking for the probability of 30 to 45 given they're in favor of the bill. So to find this probability, we're going to take the number of people who are 30 to 45 in favor over the total favor. So that means we're taking the number of people who are 30 to 45 years old who are in favor of the bill, so 4. All right, so 200 over the total that are for the bill, so 780. So 200 divided by 780, in this case, is going to reduce down to 10 over 39, or right around 0.256. What is the probability that a randomly selected person is not 18 to 29, given that the person is in favor of the minimum wage bill? So keywords here are not 18 to 29 and in favor of the minimum wage bill. So we're looking for the probability that someone is not 18 to 29 and that they are in favor of the bill. So the probability that someone is 18 to 29 given that they are in favor of the bill. So that means we're going to have the total number of people who are not 18 to 29. So we're looking at everybody else who's in favor of the bill. All right, so that means we're going to take this number, which happens to be 470, over the total in favor, which would be 780. Well, this reduces down to 47 over 78, which is right around, in this case, 0.602. All right, so now we're looking at using frequency tables and relative frequency to determine probability and conditional probability. So, a company has 150 sales representatives. After a sales seminar, the company made a table of relative frequencies based on sales results. What is the probability that someone who attended the seminar had an increase in sales? So in this case, we're looking to find the relative frequency. All right, but we're still going to use our probability and our conditional probability. So we're looking for the probability that, in this case, the person had an increase in sales given they attended the seminar. All right, so increase in sales, attended seminar. we have 0.48, and then the total for that column, because that's what's most important to us right now, is that the attended the seminar, is 0.8. All right, and with conditional probability, you tend to stay in your category. So we're going to be looking in this row right here. So that means we're looking for attended an increase over total attended. So that means right now we're looking at 0.48 over 0.8. And that reduces down to 0.6. So there's a 0.6 probability that someone who attended the seminar saw an increase in sales. What is the probability that a randomly selected sales representative who did not attend the seminar did not see an increase in sales? So we're looking for the probability of no increase given that the individual did not attend. So in order to calculate the relative frequency here, we're going to be looking at the relative frequency for a person who did not attend and saw no increase. So did not attend, no increase in sales. Over the total for the did not attend seminar. So that would be 0.2. So in this case, our relative frequency or probability would just be 0.9. Next example. Use the table below to answer the following question. If the total number of students surveyed is 350 students, how many students were in the 12th grade and had part-time jobs? This isn't actually a conditional statement. You're just going to use the relative frequency of a 12th grade with a part-time job, 12th grader with a part-time job, and multiply it by 350. So in this case, we're looking at 0.44, which would be 0.44 over 1, which is just 0.44, times 350. So 0.44 times 350 gives us that there were 154 12th graders with part-time jobs. Let's assume we wanted to find a conditional probability using the same terminology. So let's say we're looking for the probability that somebody was in 12th grade given that they had a part-time job. Well, in order to do this, we would look at the 12th graders with part-time jobs, so in this case, the 0.44 we saw before, over the entire column for part-time job individuals, so 0.63. So 0.44 divided by 0.63 is 0.7. So the probability that a 12th grader, or a probability that an individual is a 12th grader, given that they have a part-time job, is 0.7. Go ahead and try the lesson check, and I'll put the answers up shortly. Pause the video, probably be a good idea too. So go ahead and check your answers accordingly.